Hello everyone, Grandmaster Akobian here with 1000 GM, and in this video I will be showing you my round number 6 game against FM Manukyan. He's a 2300 player, very good player, and I'm playing with the black pieces, and I'm in a situation where I already made 2 draws, so I need to start winning some games. So he played d4, I play knight f6, c4, e6, so I went for my trusted and beloved opening that I use, Nimzo Indian defense. My opponent went for knight f3. There are other systems here. They can play e3, which will be the Rubinstein variation, or they can play the move queen c2, which is going to be the classical. So I was, it's hard to play against those main lines. It's very hard to get advantages. So I was glad to see some of these other lines. So now I play b6. The point is, like we know from my previous videos, in a Nimzo Indian defense, you always have to try to control the e4 square. If you are black and you don't have the control of that square, you're going to get into big trouble, okay? So that's why you have to make sure you control that square, okay? Very, very important to do. So now he goes here, e3, h6. h6 now, putting pressure on the bishop. Bishop takes f6. He didn't want to go for the bishop h4, so I prepared some theory for you guys. The main line actually goes like this. Bishop h4, g5, bishop g3, knight e4. Very aggressive. Black is trying to cement that knight on e4. Queen c2, bishop c3, takes d6. Now protecting everything. Bishop d3, f5. And the knight is well protected on e4. Now he plays d5, trying to break the position. Knight d7, with the idea to put a knight on c5. Knight d4, knight dc5. Castle. It's a super sharp line. Theory just basically starts right around here, and mixed results. White wins some, black wins some. Some games and a draw, but it's super sharp. Okay, but this would have been very interesting if he went for this, but he didn't. He went for a safer line, bishop f6, and very important moment here, because normally you just take back queen f6, right? But if I do that, then he has time to play rook c1, and I castle bishop e2. Castle, and here actually very tricky. As soon as he castles, I sort of have to give up my bishop, because otherwise in some lines, like I can, if I go here, he has knight b5, and if I protect, my bishop is getting trapped. Okay, so this lines could be very dangerous for me. Okay, so I have to make sure I watch out. So that's why I didn't play bishop queen f6. When he took, I took my time, because I have a very interesting move here. So since I want to try to compromise his structure before he castles, I took on c3 first. Now for sure he's going to get double pawns, and that's exactly what I like, for him to have the double pawns, because in the long term this pawns could be weak, and I can try to take advantage of it. Okay, and also it splits the pawns, so now there's also isolated pawn here, like an isolani. Okay, all right, so he played here, queen f6, bishop d3. This is normal. Castle, castle, d6. And as expected, he played e4, trying to get the center. So I go knight d7. Queen e2 developing. And I played e5 because I want to make sure I stop him from playing e5 at some point. I don't think he wants to play e5 right now, but I just wanted to make sure I stop it here with this. Now he goes here, d5. This is a move I didn't like, because it's giving my knight a great square on c5. But if he plays queen e3, I was going to go rook a8, and if a4, I can play a5 and go for slightly better endgame like this. Or my other option is, I'm slightly better here because, again, the structure is weakened. My other option here, guys, is if a5, I can actually just go queen g6 with the immediate threat of trying to take on e4. Take on e4 and pick up the pawn. So that needs to be protected, and then I go f5. And try to blast open the center. And you don't want to do this, because that's going to result into a checkmate in 1 immediately. So that's a problem too. So anyway, I think he should have tried to play like this and try to play this lines. Of course, not taking. And white is a little bit better here. Oh, sorry, black is a little bit better here, but it's still a fight. d5 is positionally a little bit suspicious, because it gives my knight a good square. Now I goes a4. Now he would love to play a5 and get rid of this pawn, so I go a5, fixing it. Bishop c2, bishop c8. Now the threat is to go bishop g4 and activate the bishop. It goes queen e3, bishop d7, developing the bishop, and now this rook is sort of tied up to this really weak pawn here, so this is no good. So he's tied up. So he goes g3, g6. I played this move, but stronger would have been to take advantage. The reason he played g3 because he wanted to control the f4 square. The stronger would have been here to sink in the bishop here. Bishop h3, hitting the rook. Rook f1 and g5, completely controlling that side of the board as well. Now I have excellent control on the queen side and also the king side, and I will go on queen d2, knight d2, queen g6, and then f5 and f4. I mean, this is a very, very strong attack I have here, okay? So he played g6. I played g6. And the point is now you cannot take this guy because I will take here, okay? So he goes here, king g2, queen g7, h4, and now, you know, he was trying to be aggressive here, but it's also a little bit weakening his king, so I'm not sure if I really like this move here. Perhaps he could have just played knight d2, or maybe some idea knight e1, knight d3. At any good moment, maybe trading the knights will really benefit him. So I'm not a big fan of the move h4 because it weakens him up a little bit. f5, takes. Now I have a strong f4 threat, and this king is looking really weak. King h2. Okay, we don't want to play f4 here because after he takes, he will have some rook g1 threats on our king. So what we got to do here is move the king to the safety first. Knight d2. Again, very important, I think, not to let him play f4 because then he will stop my pawns from moving. So I play f4 myself. Queen e2. Bishop g4. I'm trying to induce the move f3 because if f3 is played, I can take on g3. King takes g3. Thank you very much. Check. And picking up the queen. So it doesn't work. He had to go here. Here I had to think a little bit because this is one of those positions where everything looks perfect, but how do you win it? Okay? How do you win it? And I realized I need to, you know, find a good plan here. So I want to pause the video here for you guys and give you some time to think here to see how should I find that finishing plan. So let's pause here and see if you can find it, okay? Take a couple of minutes because that's what I did during the game. Okay, so hopefully you had enough time, you spent some time here, and you realize one important thing here. One very, very important thing, guys. Which piece is not playing here? Which piece is not participating into the game? And the answer is very clear. This guy. This guy is just a spectator, okay, here. So let's get him in. Rook f6. Trying to double up my rooks now. He goes knight e4, attacking. Another option he had is the move f3. If he had done this, then it's not so clear because now if I move the bishop, I don't think I want to do that because he played g4. So I think I was going to do this. Bishop f5, take. Again, if I take, he has g4. I don't want that. So I was going to take, and play this endgame, which is absolutely wonderful for me. I can play rook g8 check. I can play rook g8 check, and I can play rook f4, and I can just pick up the pawns, and very, very nice position for me. So he played, yeah, probably this would have been the best thing for him, but he chose to go here. I took. And here, he took back with the queen, which is probably not the best, but even if he takes with the bishop, I actually have a very good move here. Bishop d7. f3 is needed because I'm ready to double up my rooks. And also I'm threatening some ideas such as this and get in there. Take. And now, of course, I can trade queens and go for a favorable endgame, which very good chance to win, but it's a fantastic move here, queen e7, which is kind of hard to find because it looks like you're just going away. But if he goes here, your idea is to play rook f4 and simply attack and pick up this pawn on h4, okay? And he cannot protect it. So, played you know, it's winning position in that case too, but I still have to find a move queen e4. So to with the queen, that makes my task a little bit easier because my rooks are lined up. And I'm ready to take. Of course, yeah, he has some diagonal pressure here. I got to make sure my queen is there. Otherwise, he has queen h7 checkmate. And here, actually, I think he just made a final inaccuracy, but the position is very tough. I have bishop f5 ideas. I'm threatening to take on g3, so he went here. And now bishop f5, liquidating the light square bishop. And now our rooks are perfectly lined up. It's time to open up and get the victory. He resigned after this move. Let me show you what would happen if he takes with the rook. Same thing, check, pick up, and then winning the queen. In the game, he takes back with the pawn. Same thing, rook f2 entering in check and picking up the queen. So after this move, my opponent resigned. And, you know, this was the 6th game, so that gave me 5 points out of 6. So I was glad after 2 draws to get on the winning board and, you know, winning track and win some games. So hope you guys enjoyed this game, round number 6. And the next video is going to be round number 7, which was a super exciting game against very experienced IM. It was a big battle. So I'm looking forward to showing you this next game in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you very soon.